The world is a tapestry of wonders, some so familiar that we hardly notice them, and others so strange that they quietly challenge everything we think we know. From the hidden corners of history to the unexplored depths of the natural world, there exists a wealth of discoveries that defy easy explanation. Some are physical, tangible objects, artifacts, ruins, human remains, while others are fleeting phenomena, recorded in ancient texts or captured by modern instruments yet stubbornly resistant to interpretation. Each of these mysteries carries within it a whisper of the unknown, an invitation to pause and consider the vastness of the world around us and the limits of our understanding. It is a journey that stretches across time and space, where fact and speculation mingle, and where the boundaries between the known and the unknowable blur. Human curiosity has always sought to illuminate the dark corners of existence. Since the earliest civilizations, people have observed the world, recorded their experiences, and attempted to make sense of the inexplicable. The earliest written records, oral traditions, and artistic depictions reveal an enduring fascination with anomalies and oddities, whether in the movements of the stars, the patterns of the sea, or the shapes of bones and stones. Even when knowledge was limited by technology or imagination, the desire to understand, document, and pass on these observations was constant. This drive to uncover, catalog, and interpret forms the foundation of what we now call science, archaeology, and anthropology. Yet the more we learn, the more mysteries appear, each one quietly defying resolution. Consider, for a moment, the nature of discovery itself. A single fragment of pottery, a carved stone, or a peculiar skeleton can open doors into worlds long vanished. These fragments are like notes in a silent symphony, each one resonating with meaning and unanswered questions. They hint at societies, cultures, and individuals whose lives were rich with complexity, yet whose voices are mostly lost to the passage of time. The act of examining these remnants is not only a search for factual knowledge, but also a meditation on human creativity, resilience, and the astonishing variety of life across millennia. In this way, the mysterious artifacts we uncover are both evidence and enigma, grounding us in reality while encouraging the imagination to roam. Our journey begins with the quiet recognition that history is rarely linear. Civilizations rise and fall, technologies advance and disappear, and knowledge is often fragmented. Some discoveries seem straightforward at first glance, fitting neatly into established timelines and frameworks, only to reveal deeper inconsistencies upon closer inspection. Others are outright confounding, defying categorization and challenging the assumptions of even the most meticulous scholars. It is in these spaces between certainty and uncertainty that curiosity thrives, a gentle tension that draws the mind inward and encourages reflective observation. For those who are willing to pause, to look closely, and to consider the possibilities beyond the immediately apparent, these mysteries become invitations rather than puzzles, gentle prompts to expand perception and embrace wonder. The appeal of unexplained discoveries lies in their balance of the familiar and the unknown. A fragment of an ancient city may resemble modern architecture in some ways, yet its scale, alignment, or construction methods may suggest knowledge or skills that seem ahead of its time. Similarly, a skeleton may show recognizable human traits while also presenting anomalies in size, shape, or condition that challenge our understanding of evolution and biology. This interplay between the known and the inexplicable creates a gentle, persistent curiosity, one that does not demand immediate resolution but encourages observation, reflection, and imagination. It is a slow unfolding, a narrative that reveals itself gradually, inviting a sense of calm engagement rather than urgency. Even within the natural world, mysteries abound. Landscapes shaped by forces that are still not fully understood, celestial events that repeat with inexplicable precision, and phenomena in the seas and skies that elude classification all form a backdrop to the human story. Ancient peoples were keen observers of these patterns, recording them in ways that often align in surprising ways with modern science. In some cases, they observed cycles and rhythms that we are only now beginning to measure accurately, suggesting that human perception and attention have always been remarkably attuned to the natural world. These observations serve as gentle reminders that the universe, in its complexity, is always offering subtle guidance, prompting us to look, listen, and wonder. The artifacts and discoveries that comprise this collection are diverse, yet they share certain qualities. Many are remnants of civilizations whose knowledge has been partially lost, their purpose obscured by time. Others are natural phenomena that appear to behave in ways that defy conventional explanation. Some are human remains that challenge our understanding of biology and history, while others are technological devices whose function remains mysterious. Across these categories, a unifying thread emerges. Each discovery invites contemplation. Each one provides a point of connection between the observer and the unknown, a gentle space where curiosity can flourish in the absence of immediate answers. There's also a temporal element to these mysteries that is quietly compelling. Some discoveries are ancient, predating written history by thousands of years, while others are more recent, recorded through modern instruments yet still baffling experts. The passage of time does not diminish the intrigue. In fact, it often enhances it. Objects and phenomena that have endured or persisted across centuries serve as anchors, linking the present with the distant past and reminding us that human experience is part of a continuum far longer than any individual lifetime. Observing these remnants, whether they are stone, bone, or light in the sky, encourages a perspective that is both expansive and reflective, connecting us to a vast, ongoing story that stretches beyond immediate comprehension. The context in which discoveries are made adds another layer of quiet fascination. A skeleton found in a remote desert, a submerged city revealed by shifting tides, or a strange atmospheric phenomenon captured in an isolated region carries with it not just the mystery of the object itself, but also the story of its environment. Understanding the interplay between the discovery and its surroundings often provides insight, while simultaneously raising new questions. Why was this location chosen? How did natural forces or human activity shape it? How did these objects survive while others vanished? Each of these questions encourages a patient, contemplative approach, one that values observation and reflection over hurried conclusions. Many of the most intriguing discoveries also evoke emotional resonance. A well-preserved artifact, a carefully arranged burial, or a structure built with meticulous care carries within it traces of human intention, belief, and artistry. These objects invite empathy, allowing the observer to imagine the hands that shaped them, the minds that designed them, and the lives that unfolded around them. Even without full understanding, these glimpses into the past foster a quiet connection between the present and history, between observer and subject, and between the known and the mysterious. There is a meditative quality in this engagement, a rhythm that encourages slow consideration, reflection, and the gentle nurturing of curiosity. Our exploration of these discoveries will move through a careful balance of wonder and reflection. We will encounter human remains that challenge assumptions, lost cities that speak to ingenuity and ambition, technologies that hint at forgotten knowledge, and natural phenomena that defy explanation. Throughout, the emphasis will be on immersion rather than rapid revelation, allowing the viewer to inhabit the space between understanding and speculation. By maintaining a calm, measured pace, we ensure that each mystery has room to resonate, each observation has space to linger, and each reflection has the opportunity to unfold without pressure or haste. In this journey, contrast is our guide. Light against dark, the known against the unknown, human endeavor against the forces of nature. It is in the interplay of opposites that curiosity is nurtured. Structures built with precision stand in contrast to eroded landscapes. Meticulously crafted artifacts exist alongside inexplicable phenomena, human intention is juxtaposed with nature's autonomy. This balance fosters a sense of calm engagement, a recognition that mystery is not a threat but an invitation. It encourages a slow, thoughtful observation, allowing the mind to wander freely and cultivating a contemplative state in which curiosity thrives. Finally, the purpose of this section is to set the tone for the journey ahead. It is a gentle introduction, establishing the themes of mystery, wonder, and reflection that will carry through the exploration of strange discoveries across the world. By immersing ourselves in the balance of the known and unknown, the tangible and the intangible, we prepare to encounter objects, sights, and phenomena that will challenge perception, provoke thought, and inspire a quiet, meditative fascination. This is a world where answers are not always immediate, where questions are gifts, and where the act of observation itself becomes a form of contemplation, guiding the mind gently through the mysteries that await. The universe, both human and natural, is vast and intricate, and our understanding is only partial. Yet in each fragment of stone, each anomaly in the sky, each skeletal remnant, and each mysterious device, there exists an invitation to wonder, a whisper of stories untold, and a quiet call to curiosity. This is the essence of our exploration, not simply to catalog mysteries, but to inhabit them, to reflect on their meaning, and to embrace the enduring beauty of the unexplained. And so, with patience, attention, and a calm sense of curiosity, we begin our journey into the first of many strange discoveries, opening the door to a world that has always existed, waiting to be seen, felt, and contemplated. Across the winding paths of history, scattered in ruins, tombs, and forgotten corners of the world, lie objects that seem to whisper secrets we are not yet ready to hear. Some are small, almost unassuming, a fragment of stone carved with strange markings, a tiny tool whose purpose eludes explanation. Others are larger, more imposing, crafted with such skill and precision that even modern eyes can barely imagine how they were made. These are the artifacts that challenge our understanding of the past, that quietly insist that the story of human ingenuity is far richer, far stranger, than we usually allow ourselves to believe. Consider, for a moment, an ancient tool made of a metal that should not have existed in its time, buried deep beneath layers of earth, untouched by human hands for centuries. Scientists examine it, measure it, try to trace its origins, yet it defies the frameworks of conventional history. How did it come to be? Who made it and why? Questions like these echo softly through the corridors of our imagination, a gentle hum that draws us closer to the mystery rather than pushing us away. Each artifact is a doorway, and while science can help us open the door, sometimes it only reveals another locked room beyond. Some relics appear almost impossibly advanced, hinting at knowledge we thought lost to time. Intricately carved stones, precise geometrical shapes, and objects whose functions are not immediately apparent all speak to a sophistication we rarely associate with ancient cultures. Scholars offer explanations, tools for rituals, instruments for trade, symbols of social hierarchy, but none entirely satisfy the longing to understand. The mystery persists, not in spite of our attempts at explanation, but because each answer seems to deepen the questions. In these silent enigmas, we glimpse a human story that is as complex as it is elusive. There are also artifacts whose very existence seems to bend the timeline of human history. Ancient maps etched onto fragile papyrus that show lands long submerged beneath oceans, artifacts containing materials not native to their known regions, objects whose inscriptions resist translation, all speak to a world more interconnected, more inventive, more mysterious than textbooks would have us believe. Holding such a relic, even in imagination, is to touch a moment where history and mystery overlap, where human achievement and the unknown coexist in delicate balance. It is impossible not to feel a quiet reverence when observing these items. A stone carved with impossible precision, a device whose mechanism we cannot yet reconstruct, a ceremonial object whose symbolism remains opaque. All carry with them the weight of human effort, creativity, and perhaps even intention that we can scarcely comprehend. Each relic is a testament to minds that were as curious, as inventive, and as imaginative as our own. And yet, each is also a reminder of the vast gaps in our understanding, spaces where knowledge fades and wonder begins. Beyond the physicality of these objects lies their silent story, the narrative woven through time. Why were they made? What do they mean to those who created them? Were they tools of everyday life, symbols of belief, or artifacts of something far more enigmatic? Often, we have no way of knowing, and yet the act of considering these possibilities is itself a journey into the quiet depths of human curiosity. Each artifact becomes a companion on this journey, a subtle guide leading us through the dimly lit corridors of ancient minds and forgotten knowledge. Some discoveries are deliberately puzzling, seeming almost to taunt our understanding. Tiny carvings that mimic the forms of creatures unknown in their era, stones that hum with an almost imperceptible resonance, objects that seem to align with celestial patterns far more accurately than anyone could have expected. These are reminders that history is not always linear. The human experience is sometimes far stranger than the neat stories we tell ourselves. It is in this tension between what we know and what remains a secret that the true allure of these artifacts is found. In exploring these relics, we also begin to see a pattern, subtle and elusive. Some items appear in isolation, while others form clusters of mystery, a set of objects found across continents, echoing each other in material or form. Scholars debate whether this reflects lost trade networks, shared cultural knowledge, or something even more extraordinary. Whatever the explanation, the effect is the same. These objects provoke curiosity and reflection, encouraging us to consider the vastness of human potential and the possibilities that time has obscured. The narrative of these discoveries is not just about the objects themselves, but about the dialogue they create with us centuries or millennia later. They invite us to observe, to question, to imagine. In some cases, artifacts seem almost to communicate directly with the present, asking us to notice patterns, to seek connections, to entertain ideas that stretch the boundaries of conventional history. In this quiet exchange, history feels alive, not as a set of dates and events, but as a living conversation spanning generations. Yet, it is important to approach these mysteries with both wonder and restraint. The allure of speculation is strong. Our minds are drawn to stories that explain, that fill gaps with narrative. And while theory and imagination have their place, it is equally fascinating to simply sit with the unknown, to acknowledge the limitations of our knowledge without rushing to fill them. There is a meditative quality in observing these relics, a rhythm in letting them speak in silence, their stories unfolding slowly, without urgency. Through it all, one theme emerges clearly. Human ingenuity has always existed on a spectrum that is broader, stranger, and more astonishing than we often imagine. Every object we examine carries the dual weight of accomplishment and enigma. Some challenge what we know about history, others hint at knowledge yet to be rediscovered. But all of them share a quiet, insistent truth. The world is far richer and more mysterious than it appears at first glance. As we move forward, these artifacts will serve as guides, gently leading us into deeper and more perplexing discoveries. They set the tone for the journey ahead, establishing a rhythm of quiet curiosity, reflection, and wonder. By observing them with patience and attentiveness, we begin to step into a realm where history is not a closed book, but a vast landscape filled with hidden corners, shadowed alleys, and whispered secrets waiting to be discovered. And so, with each object, each relic, each fragment of the past, we take our first steps deeper into the 50 strange discoveries that science still cannot explain. We move carefully, letting the calm narrative carry us, allowing the mysteries themselves to unfold like soft echoes across time, inviting us to explore, to imagine, and to linger in the quiet beauty of the unknown. Among the most enduring mysteries of human history are the structures left behind by civilizations long vanished. From the colossal stone monuments that dot remote landscapes to the intricate subterranean complexes hidden beneath modern cities, these constructions stand as silent witnesses to ingenuity, ambition, and perhaps secrets lost to time. Their sheer scale and precision inspire awe, even as they defy easy explanation. How were massive stones quarried, transported, and assembled with such accuracy, sometimes without the aid of machinery we take for granted today? What knowledge or skill allowed ancient builders to create these marvels, often aligned to celestial events or geographic patterns we only fully understand centuries later? Each structure carries a quiet enigma, inviting reflection as much as admiration. Consider the megalithic sites scattered across continents, where enormous stones are arranged with a sophistication that seems to surpass the tools and techniques we assume were available at the time. Some formations create long shadows at specific times of the year, subtly marking the passage of seasons or aligning with the rise of particular stars. Others appear entirely functional, yet remain inexplicable. Platforms, chambers, or walls whose purpose can only be guessed at. Archaeologists and historians propose theories ranging from astronomical observatories to ceremonial centers, yet the debates often raise more questions than answers. In these places, the boundaries between human ingenuity and mystery blur, creating a sense of quiet wonder that lingers long after the eye moves away. Subterranean structures add another layer of intrigue. Across the world, labyrinthine tunnels, underground cities, and hidden chambers suggest that ancient people possessed architectural knowledge we are only beginning to comprehend. Some complexes could house thousands, complete with ventilation systems and storage facilities, all carved into rock by hand. Their existence challenges assumptions about the technological capabilities of their creators and raises questions about the reasons behind their construction. Were these refuges, places of ritual, or evidence of a civilization whose knowledge has been partially erased by time? The silence of these underground spaces invites a contemplative pause, allowing the mind to drift between fact and speculation. It is not only the physical achievement of these structures that captivates us, but also the subtleties of their design. Precision cuts in stone, interlocking blocks that have survived earthquakes for millennia, and the mathematical harmony observed in layouts suggest an advanced understanding of geometry, physics, and perhaps even engineering principles now lost to memory. Modern tools can measure and analyze these techniques, yet the original methods remain largely speculative. There is a haunting beauty in imagining hands carefully shaping stone, planning structures in accordance with celestial movements, or constructing spaces designed to last far beyond a single lifetime. Every corner and crevice carries an unspoken testament to human curiosity and the desire to create something enduring. Many of these structures exist in isolation, but some seem to share a surprising commonality across great distances. Similar shapes, alignments, or construction techniques appear in cultures separated by thousands of miles, continents, and even oceans. Did knowledge travel across these vast spaces, or did similar challenges lead humans independently to remarkably comparable solutions? Scholars debate these questions with cautious curiosity, and though definitive answers remain elusive, the mere possibility sparks quiet fascination. In the interplay between global human ingenuity and the unknown, we begin to glimpse the broader scope of human potential, stretching across time and space. The purpose of these constructions often remains an enigma, encouraging the mind to wander. Some may have served as astronomical observatories, guiding ancient peoples in their understanding of the heavens. Others might have been centers of ritual, monuments to gods or ancestors, or communal spaces for gatherings that have long since faded from memory. Perhaps some structures were intended to communicate with the future, leaving messages encoded in stone for those who might come centuries or millennia later. Whatever the truth, the lack of certainty allows a gentle curiosity to flourish the kind that does not demand immediate answers, but invites reflection and imagination. It is also worth noting the human element behind these marvels. Each stone lifted, each chamber carved, each monument erected required effort, collaboration, and intention. In a quiet sense, we can imagine the builders themselves, their labor, their planning, their rituals, and their aspirations, echoing through the centuries to the present moment. The structures are not merely physical feats. They're expressions of human thought, creativity, and persistence. To stand before one of these sites, even in imagination, is to bridge time, to feel a connection with people who once walked the earth long before we arrived, leaving behind traces both tangible and mysterious. Some constructions seem almost impossibly aligned with celestial phenomena, marking solstices, equinoxes, or the movements of specific stars. Others incorporate acoustics or proportions that create subtle effects, from echoes that enhance chance to spaces that amplify light in unexpected ways. These observations remind us that the ancients were not merely laborers or artisans. They were observers of nature, thinkers who sought harmony between human creation and the broader cosmos. In this quiet attention to alignment and proportion, the line between science and wonder begins to blur, creating spaces where contemplation is not only encouraged but inevitable. As we reflect on these structures, we begin to recognize a recurring theme. The deeper we look, the more questions arise. Each stone, each chamber, each alignment opens a door to possibilities that stretch our understanding. Were these sites purely functional, purely symbolic, or something in between? Were they intended to convey knowledge, preserve memory, or inspire awe? The answers may remain elusive, yet the pursuit itself becomes a journey, a meditation on human achievement and the mysteries that accompany it. These remarkable constructions also serve as a bridge to the wider exploration of our documentary. They remind us that human history is a tapestry interwoven with knowledge, creativity, and unexplained phenomena. From massive megaliths to hidden subterranean networks, the structures connect us to the broader mysteries we will encounter. Artifacts, human remains, celestial oddities, and discoveries that defy conventional explanation. Each discovery flows naturally into the next, forming a gentle rhythm of curiosity and reflection, guiding the viewer through layers of history, both known and unknown. As we prepare to move beyond the land itself, we carry with us the quiet wonder inspired by these structures. They are monuments not only to human skill, but to the enduring questions that surround our existence. In their shadows, we feel the presence of ingenuity and enigma alike, a gentle reminder that history is never fully contained, that mysteries persist, and that exploration is as much about contemplation as it is about discovery. And so, as night deepens and imagination stirs, we turn our attention from the earth beneath our feet to the vast reaches of ocean and sky, where even more of the world's unexplained phenomena await. Beyond the boundaries of human settlements, in the quiet depths of oceans and the distant reaches of the sky, mysteries persist that defy explanation. The seas, vast and uncharted, hold secrets beneath their surface, formations, wrecks, and phenomena that science observes but cannot fully comprehend. Similarly, the heavens above present patterns and signals that elude even the most sophisticated instruments. In this section, we drift gently between water and sky, exploring the subtle and profound enigmas that exist at the interface of the known and the unknown. The rhythm is slow, contemplative, allowing the viewer to feel the vastness of these realms and the quiet majesty of their unexplained aspects. The ocean, with its immense pressure and hidden expanses, has always been a repository of mystery. Across its depths lie structures that seem almost impossibly placed, sometimes resembling shapes we would not expect to find underwater. Some appear to be artificial, suggesting lost civilizations or previously unknown engineering feats. Others are natural formations so precise that they challenge the distinction between human design and geological happenstance. Sonar scans and underwater photography reveal these anomalies, yet interpretation remains difficult. The silence of the deep magnifies their intrigue, leaving us with a sense of wonder that is both quiet and persistent, a feeling that there is still so much beneath the waves we have yet to encounter. Strange signals emerge from the ocean as well. Unexplained acoustic phenomena, mysterious pulses recorded in deep-sea monitoring systems, and rhythmic sounds whose origins remain unidentified provoke curiosity and speculation. Some suggest marine life we have not yet discovered. Others theorize geological processes, and still others propose anomalies that resist any clear categorization. Regardless of their origin, these signals serve as a reminder that even in a world increasingly mapped and studied, the oceans retain their capacity to surprise and unsettle, offering moments of quiet mystery that stretch the limits of our understanding. Similarly, the sky offers enigmas that have captivated humans for millennia. Celestial bodies and phenomena, from unusual light formations to objects that defy known classifications, remind us of the vastness beyond our immediate comprehension. Ancient cultures tracked the heavens with precision, leaving records that sometimes align with modern observations in ways that remain puzzling. Certain constellations, eclipses, or celestial events were observed and recorded with astonishing accuracy, sometimes centuries before contemporary science could explain them. These remnants of human attention to the sky hint at a deeper connection between civilization and the cosmos, a quiet dialogue that continues to resonate through the ages. The contrast between oceanic and celestial mysteries is striking yet harmonious. Both remind us of the limits of our perception, one deep, dark, and tactile, the other vast, luminous, and distant. In both realms, science provides tools for observation, but often leaves questions unanswered. In the ocean, we have maps and sonar, but much remains uncharted. In the sky, telescopes and satellites extend our vision, yet anomalies appear that resist full understanding. In this interplay between exploration and mystery, we find a gentle tension, a sense that no matter how much we know, the universe retains corners that are quietly, beautifully elusive. Many of these mysteries are subtle rather than dramatic. A formation on the seafloor may be mistaken for natural rock, until a closer examination reveals patterns that seem too precise, too deliberate to be random. Similarly, a faint light in the night sky may appear ordinary until its behavior defies conventional explanations. In both cases, the observer is invited into a slow discovery, a patient observation that requires attention, contemplation, and humility. The thrill is not in sudden revelation, but in the quiet recognition that the world is more complex, more intricate, and more mysterious than we often allow ourselves to imagine. Some underwater anomalies have sparked theories of lost civilizations, sunken cities, or ancient maritime cultures whose knowledge has been partially erased by the tides of time. While definitive evidence remains elusive, the possibilities fuel imagination and wonder. Ancient legends of cities swallowed by the sea, Atlantis, Lemuria, and other myths, echo faintly in these findings, reminding us that the boundary between myth and reality is sometimes thinner than it appears. Even if these structures are natural, their forms provoke awe, suggesting forces in nature capable of creating shapes that inspire narratives across cultures and generations. Above, the sky continues to challenge and inspire. Unidentified aerial phenomena, peculiar meteorological events, and cosmic anomalies invite reflection on the vast scale of the universe and our place within it. Some observations hint at patterns not yet understood, offering glimpses of processes or phenomena that science has not yet classified. Ancient records sometimes describe these occurrences with remarkable fidelity, leaving us to wonder whether we are witnessing repetitions of events, echoes of human observation, or signs of patterns that have persisted unnoticed for millennia. The cosmos, like the ocean, is a space where mystery is abundant, and quiet curiosity becomes the most fitting response. These mysteries, both aquatic and celestial, share a certain poetic quality. They remind us that knowledge is never complete, that every answer contains within it new questions, and that observation itself can be an act of meditation. By moving slowly, allowing ourselves to inhabit the space between certainty and speculation, we begin to appreciate the beauty of the unknown. The ocean and the sky become more than objects of study. They become landscapes of reflection, canvases upon which imagination can wander safely, guided by the quiet cadence of contemplation. The connection between these realms also highlights the continuity of mystery throughout human history. Just as ancient civilizations recorded celestial patterns or built near powerful water sources, we continue to observe and seek understanding, following in their footsteps. Our modern instruments extend our senses, but the fundamental experience remains the same. A fascination with what cannot be fully explained, a recognition that wonder persists even as knowledge grows. In this way, the unknown is not a void but a companion, gently urging us to look deeper, think more broadly, and embrace the subtle beauty of questions that remain unresolved. As we conclude this exploration of oceanic and celestial mysteries, the viewer is invited to carry forward a sense of quiet awe. The structures, signals, and phenomena we have observed remind us that the world, and the universe beyond, is rich with enigmas that defy simple explanation. They bridge the tangible and the intangible, the measurable and the ineffable, preparing us to return to the human-centered mysteries that await. Relics, remains, and civilizations whose stories continue to challenge understanding. In the calm reflection inspired by the deep seas and the distant stars, we are ready to follow the trail of curiosity into the next chapter of discovery, carrying with us the gentle, persistent whisper of the unknown. Among the most haunting and intriguing discoveries are those that connect directly to the human form, remains that defy conventional explanation, preserved in ways that challenge our understanding of history, biology, and mortality. Across the globe, archaeologists and researchers have uncovered skeletons, mummies, and fossilized bodies that provoke both fascination and unease. Some appear unusually large or small, others exhibit features that seem out of place for their time, and many are found in locations that suggest journeys, practices, or civilizations we have only begun to comprehend. These discoveries invite a quiet reflection on human fragility, ingenuity, and the mysteries that linger at the edges of our own species' history. Imagine an ancient tomb, opened after centuries of silence. Inside, a body rests in remarkable preservation, its features intact, its posture carefully arranged. The methods of preservation may be known: embalming, natural desiccation, or climatic conditions. But in some cases, the results are extraordinary, resisting decay far longer than expected. Such findings stir curiosity about the knowledge and rituals of the societies that produce them. Were these practices purely ceremonial, intended to honor the deceased, or did they reflect a deeper understanding of human biology that we have since lost? Each discovery becomes a portal into the minds, beliefs, and practices of those long gone, bridging centuries in a single, silent presence. Some human remains are mysterious in a more perplexing way. Skeletons with unusual proportions, taller than expected, shaped in unfamiliar ways, or exhibiting anatomical anomalies, challenge assumptions about evolution and human variation. Other remains appear in contexts that seem entirely unexpected: a burial in a remote desert, a body in a subterranean cavern, a fossilized skeleton far from known human settlements. These finds spark questions that stretch beyond anthropology into realms of speculation and wonder. How did these individuals live? What circumstances brought them to these locations? And how much of their world is irretrievably lost to time, leaving only fragments for us to ponder? Mummified remains, in particular, provide a unique window into the past. From the deserts of Egypt to the highlands of South America, these bodies carry with them traces of culture, belief, and environment. Some mummies are adorned with intricate garments, jewelry, and ceremonial objects, suggesting status, role, or significance. Others are simple, humble, yet no less compelling in the story they tell. Scientific analysis can reveal diet, health, and even cause of death, yet there's often something unquantifiable, an aura of presence, a quiet testimony to life lived long ago. These preserved humans remind us that the past is not merely a collection of dates and events, but a continuum of lived experiences, each carrying its own mysteries. Beyond the expected, there are discoveries that seem almost otherworldly. Skeletal remains with extra bones, unusual cranial shapes, or evidence of unknown diseases suggest variations in human anatomy that remain difficult to explain. In some cases, these anomalies appear isolated, while in others, multiple similar remains are discovered in the same region, hinting at patterns yet to be understood. Researchers approach these findings with meticulous care, seeking explanations in genetics, environment, or cultural practices, yet some anomalies persist without clear resolution. In the silence of these discoveries, the human imagination is invited to wander, considering possibilities both extraordinary and subtle, without the rush to immediate judgment. The context of discovery often adds layers of mystery. Burials in seemingly impossible locations, cliffs, deep caves, underwater sites, challenge conventional understanding of ancient transportation and ritual practices. Some remains are found alongside artifacts that seem advanced for their era, or in alignment with astronomical or geographical markers, suggesting a deliberate planning that surpasses simple burial needs. In these instances, the remains themselves become part of a larger enigma, a piece of a puzzle that hints at lost civilizations, forgotten practices, or knowledge that has faded from collective memory. These human anomalies are not just physical curiosities. They also offer insight into belief systems, societal structures, and human resilience. Some mummies were intentionally preserved to honor gods, ancestors, or the cosmos itself. Skeletal remains may show evidence of healed injuries, suggesting care and compassion within ancient communities. Others tell stories of sudden events, migrations, or conflicts, frozen in time and waiting silently for interpretation. Each discovery is a dialogue between the past and present, a quiet conversation in which we, as observers, are invited to listen carefully and reflect on the fragility and complexity of human life. In some regions, human remains have been found alongside other mysterious objects, tools, strange artifacts, or enigmatic symbols. These associations deepen the sense of wonder, suggesting that the people we are studying were not only navigating the natural world, but also engaging with ideas and practices that are now obscure. Perhaps these were spiritual rituals, technological experiments, or forms of communication now lost to history. Whatever their purpose, the combination of human remains and accompanying objects creates a layered narrative, encouraging contemplation rather than immediate conclusion. It is impossible to study these discoveries without feeling the tension between what is known and what remains unexplained. Modern science provides powerful tools: DNA analysis, carbon dating, forensic reconstruction. Yet even with these methods, questions linger. Why were some individuals so tall or differently shaped? How did certain bodies remain preserved against the natural process of decay? Why do some burials appear in locations that seem inaccessible or improbable? These unanswered questions are not failures of science, but invitations to humility, a reminder that human history is vast and complex, and that our understanding is always partial. The silent power of these remains lies in their ability to evoke empathy and curiosity simultaneously. They remind us of our own mortality, yet they also celebrate the persistence of human presence across centuries. Each skeleton, each mummy, is a testament to life lived, decisions made, and cultures formed. Even when much about them remains uncertain, they continue to teach us not only about the past, but also about the enduring mysteries that shape our perception of humanity. As we conclude this section, we carry forward a sense of quiet awe. Human remains, with all their anomalies, preservation, and enigmas, connect us intimately to the people who walked the earth long before us. They remind us that history is not merely a collection of dates, but a continuum of lives, choices, and unexplained phenomena. In their stillness, they offer a profound invitation to observe, to reflect, and to embrace the beauty of the unknown. These discoveries will serve as a bridge to the next chapter, guiding us into explorations of civilizations, structures, and artifacts whose stories continue to defy explanation, quietly encouraging curiosity in every careful step we take. Across the sands, jungles, and mountains of the world lie cities that have vanished almost entirely from memory, leaving behind only whispers of their existence. These lost civilizations, often discovered only in fragments, provoke a quiet sense of wonder that grows with every new excavation or uncovering. Some were swallowed by nature itself. Sand dunes encroaching on once thriving streets, forests reclaiming stone monuments, rivers shifting course and erasing foundations. Others disappeared as the result of human conflict, disease, or slow societal collapse. Yet in every case, the remnants that remain speak to a world of ingenuity, ambition, and mystery, silently inviting us to imagine lives and cultures long past. Imagine a city once vibrant with markets, temples, and homes, now reduced to broken walls and scattered artifacts. Archaeologists slowly piece together its story from fragments, pottery shards, tools, inscriptions, and remnants of architecture. Each discovery paints a faint, partial picture, and yet the gaps remain as compelling as the known elements. What led to the rise and eventual disappearance of these communities? How did they interact with their neighbors, and what knowledge or technologies did they possess that we are only beginning to grasp? The silence of these cities is profound, a quiet counterpoint to the bustle they once knew, and it encourages a meditative curiosity rather than urgent explanation. Many lost cities are remarkable not only for their disappearance, but also for the sophistication evident in their construction. Streets laid out with precision, water systems and aqueducts that supplied entire populations, and buildings aligned with celestial events suggest that these societies understood principles of engineering, astronomy, and urban planning far earlier than we sometimes assume. The more we uncover, the more we realize that ancient peoples were not merely surviving. They were innovating, organizing, and observing the world with extraordinary attention to detail. Each artifact and structural element becomes a window into the priorities, challenges, and triumphs of lives lived thousands of years ago. Some lost civilizations are shrouded in more perplexing mystery. Entire settlements seem to vanish without a trace, leaving behind no clear record of why they disappeared. Deserted streets, abandoned temples, and skeletal remains scattered across open plazas suggest sudden or gradual departures, but definitive explanations are elusive. Scholars propose theories: climate change, famine, conflict, or epidemics, but certainty remains out of reach. In these spaces, the absence of explanation becomes a space for contemplation, a reminder that history is often incomplete and that what we do not know can be as illuminating as what we do. The locations of some forgotten cities add to their enigmatic allure. Found high in mountain valleys, deep in jungles, or beneath layers of sediment, these sites often required significant effort to construct, maintain, and in some cases abandon. The logistics alone hint at a level of organization and societal complexity that modern observers can scarcely imagine. It is a quiet marvel to consider the lives of those who navigated these landscapes, adapting to their environment while building communities capable of sustaining themselves for generations. The labor, ingenuity, and planning involved in these civilizations become a silent testament to human persistence and creativity. In some instances, lost cities are connected to larger networks of trade, culture, or spirituality, hinting at interactions with distant lands and peoples. Artifacts found in one city may mirror styles, materials, or symbols from regions hundreds or even thousands of miles away. Such connections suggest a level of global awareness and exchange that challenges conventional timelines of human communication and movement. Even when we cannot fully explain the mechanisms or motivations behind these connections, the evidence compels us to consider a world far more interconnected, far more vibrant, and far more mysterious than we often assume. The stories of lost civilizations also extend beyond physical structures and artifacts to the human experience itself. Evidence of daily life, cooking implements, personal adornments, communal spaces, offers glimpses into routines, traditions, and social hierarchies. These traces allow us to imagine not just the mechanics of survival, but the richness of human experience, celebrations, rituals, commerce, and contemplation. The lives of individuals, once ordinary, now become extraordinary through the lens of their survival across time, preserved in objects and ruins that continue to provoke curiosity and reflection. In some cases, lost cities are associated with legends and myths that predate modern archaeology. Stories of great floods, vanished empires, or people possessing extraordinary knowledge often align in curious ways with the physical evidence uncovered centuries later. While such connections cannot always be verified scientifically, they enrich the narrative, offering a bridge between the tangible and the intangible, between what we can measure and what we can imagine. These layers of history, myth, and mystery blend together to create a profound sense of wonder, encouraging the mind to wander gently through time. Even the rediscovery of these cities carries its own quiet drama. Explorers, sometimes centuries apart, uncover ruins that challenge previously held assumptions, forcing scholars and observers to reconsider what they thought they knew. New technologies, satellite imaging, ground-penetrating radar, and advanced dating techniques reveal details invisible to the naked eye, shedding light on previously hidden structures or patterns. Yet with each new revelation, new questions emerge. How were these cities planned? Why did they vanish? What knowledge might have been lost along with them? The mysteries multiply, but so too does the sense of awe, reinforcing the idea that history is never fully settled, and that the act of exploration is as important as any conclusion. The contemplation of lost civilizations is not merely an academic exercise. It is an invitation to reflect on continuity, impermanence, and the human drive to create. The rise and fall of cities remind us that even the most enduring achievements are subject to the passage of time, to nature, to circumstance, and to forces that may elude understanding. In observing these remnants, we also confront our own place in the continuum of history, recognizing that the civilizations we inherit are but one chapter in a vast, ongoing story. The mysteries left behind by these societies serve as both caution and inspiration, whispering across centuries that what we create may endure, transform, or fade, yet always leaves an imprint for those who come after. As we leave the silent streets and forgotten temples of lost civilizations, we carry with us a sense of quiet curiosity and reverence. These cities, abandoned yet enduring, remind us of the complexity of human history and the richness of lives long past. They prepare us for the next exploration, the technologies, tools, and enigmatic devices that suggest knowledge beyond what conventional timelines might allow. In the interplay of human ingenuity and the unknown, we continue our journey, guided by the subtle rhythms of discovery, reflection, and the ever-present allure of what remains unexplained. Among the most intriguing aspects of our shared past are the tools, devices, and technologies left behind by civilizations long vanished. These objects, often small and unassuming at first glance, reveal a level of sophistication that challenges modern assumptions about ancient capabilities. Some devices appear to serve purposes that are immediately recognizable, while others defy explanation entirely. In every case, they offer a quiet testament to human ingenuity curiosity, and a deep understanding of the world that seems almost lost to time. Each artifact invites us to pause, to consider not only what it does, but also the minds that created it, the context in which it emerged, and the mysteries it continues to embody. Consider a device composed of intricately interlocking parts, discovered buried within a layer of centuries-old sediment. Its mechanism seems impossibly precise, with gears and levers designed to perform a function that scholars can only hypothesize. Attempts to reconstruct its use yield partial results, yet no single explanation fully satisfies. Was it an instrument of measurement, a tool for astronomical observation, or something more symbolic, perhaps even ritualistic? The questions themselves hold value, providing a quiet space in which to marvel at human creativity and the enduring complexity of our ancestors' achievements. Some ancient technologies suggest knowledge of principles we might not expect for their era. Tools that harnessed natural forces, devices aligned to celestial events, and objects with surprisingly sophisticated mechanics all hint at a familiarity with concepts that modern science would later rediscover. These findings challenge the linear narrative of technological development, suggesting that human understanding is not always gradual or predictable. Instead, it may rise, fall, and emerge in unexpected ways, leaving traces of brilliance that endure as enigmas for those who follow. In this light, each ancient device becomes more than a mere object. It is a bridge across time, connecting the inventiveness of the past with our ongoing curiosity in the present. The allure of these technologies lies not only in their function, but in their design and construction. Precision cuts, perfectly balanced components, and materials chosen with care all reflect a deep understanding of both form and function. Some devices could measure celestial movement with remarkable accuracy. Others might have recorded information in ways we do not yet fully comprehend. Even when their precise purpose remains unknown, their craftsmanship speaks to a deliberate intelligence, an attention to detail, and a willingness to experiment that resonates across the centuries. Observing them gently, without rush, allows the mind to appreciate the subtle interplay of human thought, observation, and creativity. Ancient technology is sometimes accompanied by symbols, inscriptions, or markers that hint at broader knowledge or cultural significance. A device may be decorated with astronomical symbols, mathematical notations, or abstract patterns whose meaning is lost to time. These embellishments suggest that the tools themselves were not purely functional. They were embedded in a context of ritual, observation, and perhaps philosophical or spiritual contemplation. In this way, each device offers a dual narrative, one of practical ingenuity and one of human imagination. They remind us that technology and creativity have always been intertwined, that the creation of tools was as much an intellectual and cultural exercise as it was a practical one. Some discoveries suggest that ancient peoples may have possessed understanding of mechanical principles far in advance of their time. Objects featuring precise gears, interlocking components, or mechanisms capable of movement challenge the assumption that such knowledge only emerged in recent centuries. Scholars debate how these devices were made, what resources and techniques were available, and whether knowledge was passed down through generations or independently rediscovered. Regardless of the answers, these artifacts inspire a profound respect for the inventiveness of our ancestors, inviting us to consider the depth and breadth of human curiosity throughout history. It is also remarkable how widely these technologies appear across cultures and continents. Similar devices, constructed in different regions and centuries apart, hint at shared knowledge, convergent innovation, or perhaps even contact between societies that has been partially erased from historical records. The recurrence of mechanical principles, symbolic representations, and material choices across distant civilizations suggests a universality in human problem-solving, a silent testament to the ingenuity that has always existed, waiting quietly to be rediscovered. The study of ancient technology requires a careful balance of analysis and imagination. Experimental archaeology, reconstruction, and testing provide insight into how devices may have worked, but often the results are partial or inconclusive. In some cases, attempts to replicate the technology reveal that a complete understanding remains elusive. Yet this uncertainty is part of the quiet charm of these discoveries. It reminds us that knowledge is not always linear, that invention can emerge and disappear, leaving fragments for future generations to ponder. The process of exploration itself becomes an act of meditation, a way of connecting with the minds of those who came before. These artifacts also invite reflection on the human desire to observe, measure, and influence the world. From devices that track celestial patterns to mechanisms that may have recorded time or stored information, the tools of the past illustrate a consistent drive to understand and engage with the environment. They suggest a thoughtful approach to life, one in which observation, experimentation, and creativity were valued. The calm, persistent focus required to create these devices resonates with us today, encouraging a similar patience and wonder in our own acts of learning and discovery. In contemplating ancient technology, we are reminded that mystery and knowledge often coexist. Some devices were clearly understood by their creators, yet today remain enigmatic. Others may have served purposes that are now entirely forgotten. This duality creates a gentle tension, an invitation to observe with patience and respect. We can appreciate the craftsmanship, theorize about functionality, and imagine the hands that made these objects, all while acknowledging that some answers may never come. In this space between understanding and uncertainty, curiosity flourishes quietly, inviting reflection without urgency. The broader significance of these technologies is profound. They connect us to a continuum of human creativity, ingenuity, and inquiry. They hint at lost knowledge, vanished practices, and a human ability to solve complex problems that transcends time and geography. Each device, mechanism, or tool is a reminder that history is not merely a collection of events, but a living record of thought, experimentation, and imagination. They prepare us to move forward in our journey, linking the tangible ingenuity of the past to the ongoing mysteries we will encounter in the artifacts, natural phenomena, and unexplained discoveries that lie ahead. As we leave the world of ancient technology, we carry with us a sense of quiet awe and respect. The artifacts, with their intricate design and puzzling functions, demonstrate the enduring power of human creativity and the subtle mysteries that remain in our understanding of history. They are both evidence and enigma, teaching us patience, observation, and humility. Guided by this calm reflection, we are prepared to continue our exploration into natural phenomena and other extraordinary discoveries, moving seamlessly from human ingenuity to the broader, often inexplicable, wonders of the world. The natural world is filled with phenomena that continue to perplex scientists and observers alike. Events and formations that seem to exist on the boundary between what is known and what remains unexplained. From landscapes carved in ways that defy conventional geological understanding to atmospheric occurrences that leave no clear explanation, these anomalies invite a slow, reflective consideration. Unlike artifacts or ruins, natural phenomena are not created by human hands, yet they inspire the same quiet awe, curiosity, and sense of wonder. They remind us that the world itself holds mysteries beyond our control, rhythms and patterns that have persisted long before we arrived and will likely continue long after. Consider formations in stone that seem to defy erosion and time. Some appear as perfectly aligned shapes, sharp-edged structures, or intricate patterns that are difficult to reconcile with natural processes. Others resemble tools, figures, or structures without clear human involvement, sparking debate over whether they were sculpted by nature, influenced by unknown forces, or subtly altered by ancient civilizations whose presence has left only traces. Even the most careful geological analysis can leave questions unanswered, creating a space where speculation meets observation. and where the mind is invited to wander in quiet fascination. Water itself can be an agent of both wonder and mystery. Rivers that carve unexpected channels, lakes that appear and vanish seemingly overnight, and subterranean springs that defy explanation all illustrate the dynamic and unpredictable forces shaping the planet. Some locations have earned reputations for strange occurrences, where currents behave inexplicably, sudden whirlpools emerge, or water levels shift without apparent cause. These events may be studied scientifically, but explanations are often incomplete, leaving a lingering sense of intrigue. Observing these watery anomalies is a meditation in itself, an invitation to appreciate the subtle complexity of Earth's systems and the unexpected ways in which they express themselves. The atmosphere contributes its own share of enigmatic phenomena. Lights flickering in the sky, unusual cloud formations, and inexplicable electrical or auroral events capture human imagination across cultures and centuries. Some of these occurrences are fleeting, others repeat over long periods, and many resist categorization by modern instruments. Ancient civilizations often recorded these phenomena with reverence, embedding them in myth, art, and ritual, suggesting that humans have long been attuned to the strange rhythms of the natural world. In observing these events today, we join a long lineage of witnesses, quietly contemplating forces larger than ourselves, yet intimately connected to our daily lives. Patterns emerge in some natural phenomena that provoke deeper reflection. Geometrical shapes in stone formations, repeated alignments of unusual rock structures, or rhythmic occurrences of atmospheric events hint at order within apparent chaos. These patterns may suggest natural cycles, processes we do not yet fully understand, or perhaps subtle traces of human or other influence we have yet to identify. In all cases, they invite a slow, patient observation, the kind of attention that encourages both curiosity and humility. To witness such phenomena is to confront the limits of knowledge, to accept that some aspects of the world may remain mysterious, and yet to marvel at the beauty inherent in their presence. Some natural occurrences have become the focus of legend and speculation. Lakes that emit strange gases, deserts with shifting geometric patterns, and forests where sounds and lights behave unpredictably have inspired stories for centuries. While modern science provides frameworks to study these anomalies, many aspects remain unquantified or unexplained, maintaining the sense of quiet wonder that has persisted across generations. In these places, the boundary between scientific curiosity and the imagination is porous, encouraging reflection rather than immediate answers, and leaving space for both awe and gentle mystery to coexist. The study of these phenomena also reminds us of the interplay between time and observation. Some events unfold over moments, such as fleeting lights or sudden weather patterns, while others take centuries to manifest, like the slow shaping of rock formations or shifting landscapes. Observing them requires patience, attentiveness, and a willingness to encounter uncertainty. In this mindful observation, we are reminded that understanding is not always immediate, and that the rhythm of nature often operates on scales beyond human comprehension. This perspective encourages a meditative engagement with the world, where curiosity is valued as much as explanation, and wonder is a companion rather than a puzzle to solve. Across the globe, similar natural mysteries appear in diverse environments. From ice caves that glow with strange luminescence to volcanic formations that defy geometric expectation, from deserts with inexplicable dune patterns to forests where shadows seem to move unnaturally. These phenomena hint at universal processes that remain partially hidden from our understanding. Their occurrence across disparate locations challenges us to think broadly, to consider patterns that may connect geology, climate, biology, and perhaps forces yet to be discovered. Each discovery, each observation, becomes a quiet lesson in patience, reflection, and the humility necessary to engage with the unknown. In contemplating these natural phenomena, we are also invited to consider their relationship with human perception and belief. Ancient peoples often imbued such occurrences with spiritual or symbolic meaning, creating myths, legends, and rituals around them. Even today, these sites evoke deep emotional responses, inspiring art, storytelling, and meditation. There's a shared recognition across time that some aspects of the natural world are not fully comprehensible, yet profoundly compelling, urging us to pause, reflect, and inhabit the space between knowledge and mystery. The subtle beauty of unexplained natural events lies in their quiet persistence. Unlike constructed artifacts, they exist independent of human intervention, yet they engage our minds and hearts in similar ways. Observing a strange rock formation, a luminous fog, or a rhythmic pattern of waves is to encounter nature's complexity directly, without mediation, without imposed meaning. These moments invite stillness, reflection, and a gentle curiosity that does not demand answers but appreciates the richness of observation. It is a reminder that the world is vast, intricate, and full of surprises, waiting for those willing to notice with patience and care. As we move from the natural phenomena into the human-made enigmas of art, artifacts, and lost knowledge, the continuity becomes clear. Nature's mysteries and humanity's creations share a common thread: the presence of patterns, the capacity to inspire wonder, and the persistence of the unexplained. Both remind us that the world is far larger, more complex, and more mysterious than our daily experience suggests. By observing quietly, reflecting patiently, and embracing the unknown, we prepare ourselves to encounter the next layer of mysteries. Human creations, technological anomalies, and discoveries that continue to challenge our understanding in profound ways. In this gentle exploration of unexplained natural phenomena, the viewer is invited to linger in contemplation, to feel the slow rhythm of observation, and to appreciate the elegance of mystery in its purest form. The oceans, skies, and landscapes of our world continue to hold secrets that challenge explanation, and it is in the quiet engagement with these mysteries that curiosity, wonder, and reflection find their most fertile ground. As night deepens and attention softens, we carry forward this sense of awe, ready to explore the artifacts, devices, and anomalies that reveal the persistent creativity, ingenuity, and enigma of humanity itself. Nature, in its quiet omnipresence, often reveals itself in ways both subtle and startling, reminding us that even the most studied environments still hold secrets. In this section, we wander through phenomena that defy conventional patterns and leave scientists and observers alike scratching their heads. Rocks that hum or resonate under mysterious conditions, rivers that flow contrary to expectations, and forests where trees appear to grow in mathematically precise arrangements, all hint at a natural world more intricate and puzzling than it first seems. The gentle rustle of leaves, the slow flow of water, and the soft shifting of sands become more than simple background. They become markers of hidden forces and irregularities, quietly asserting that nature refuses to be fully tamed or predicted. Consider the unusual formations of certain mineral deposits that seem to have taken on impossible geometries, where crystals grow in perfect symmetry in environments that should inhibit them. Scientists may analyze the chemical composition, measure temperature and pressure, and model growth patterns, yet some specimens continue to evade explanation. Similarly, weather patterns occasionally manifest in localized anomalies, small pockets of extreme wind or rainfall in places where models forecast calm. These irregularities challenge both meteorology and intuition, suggesting that beneath the predictable cycles of climate lies a deeper, subtler rhythm we have yet to fully grasp. Even animal behavior sometimes falls into this category of defiance. Entire species, when observed over generations, display migrations, nesting habits, or feeding patterns that do not conform to the environmental cues scientists expect. Birds may choose entirely unconventional routes across continents. Insects might exhibit synchronized movements that defy known triggers. These anomalies are not chaotic in appearance. but they reveal an underlying logic or influence that remains elusive. The forest becomes a living puzzle, a theater where familiar rules are subtly rewritten and observers are gently reminded of the limits of understanding. Geological oddities add yet another layer to nature's tapestry of mystery. From sinkholes that appear overnight in unlikely locations to rock formations that seem shaped by invisible hands, the Earth itself occasionally performs acts that contradict conventional geological models. Mountains rise or erode in patterns that defy standard timelines, and volcanic activity can produce formations that appear artificially sculpted, almost as if nature were experimenting with architecture. Each anomaly invites a patient, almost meditative consideration, urging observers to dwell in wonder rather than rush to explanation. Even in our immediate surroundings, nature's defiance is quietly present. The bending of tree trunks in unlikely curves, the growth of plants in geometrically improbable clusters, and the persistence of life in areas deemed inhospitable all speak to a subtle intelligence, an orchestration that science can describe but not fully comprehend. It is here, in these small, persistent irregularities, that we feel closest to the poetry of the natural world, the gentle hum of mystery threading through every stone, stream, and leaf. Through all of this, the section emphasizes the balance between known laws and their exceptions. While science provides frameworks, formulas, and expectations, nature quietly continues to write its own rules, sometimes in whispers and sometimes in impossible gestures. This constant interplay between order and anomaly cultivates a sense of contemplative curiosity, drawing viewers into a deeper appreciation of the world's enigmatic beauty. The unexplainable becomes not a source of fear or frustration, but a soft invitation to watch, to listen, and to marvel, setting the stage for the next segment where human ingenuity and the mysteries it uncovers take center stage. Throughout history, humans have demonstrated ingenuity and creativity that often seems astonishing, even by modern standards. In this section, we turn our attention to artifacts, machines, and constructions whose sophistication appears far beyond the technological understanding of their time. Ancient gears, intricate mechanical devices, and structures of immense precision challenge assumptions about the capabilities of early civilizations. These objects do more than impress. They invite a quiet contemplation of the gap between what we know and what may have been known but lost to time. The narrative gently contrasts the modern scientists' tools and knowledge with the enduring mystery of these relics, fostering a sense of wonder rather than urgency. Consider the Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece. This intricate device, composed of interlocking gears, was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses centuries before similar technology would emerge in the Western world. Scientists have spent decades studying its structure and functions, yet some details remain obscure, leaving questions about who built it, how, and why. The precision of the mechanism, coupled with the lack of similar artifact from the same era, underscores a recurring theme. Human innovation is not always linear. The narrative lingers on the careful complexity of the device, inviting viewers to imagine hands from millennia ago, working with patience and knowledge that we can only begin to appreciate. Beyond individual devices, entire structures defy easy explanation. Monumental constructions, such as the stone walls of Puma Punku in Bolivia or the pyramids of Egypt, display an accuracy in cutting, alignment, and transportation that still challenges engineers today. Massive stone blocks, some weighing tens of tons, were moved and fitted with precision that seems improbable without modern machinery. Researchers can measure, analyze, and theorize, yet no consensus fully explains the methods employed. The viewer is drawn into a slow contemplation of human determination and ingenuity, reflecting on the delicate balance between mystery and achievement that defines the archaeological record. Some discoveries are even more enigmatic because they blend artistry, functionality, and scientific knowledge in ways that modern experts struggle to replicate. Ancient water clocks, celestial models, and complex irrigation systems indicate a profound understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. Yet, when placed within their historical context, these accomplishments feel extraordinary, as if a lost chapter of knowledge has slipped through the cracks of recorded history. The narrative invites the audience to observe the patterns, marvel at the sophistication, and sense the quiet persistence of human curiosity that transcends time. Technological anomalies are not restricted to large or famous artifacts. Smaller objects, from mysterious mechanical toys to finely crafted tools, reveal the same pattern: knowledge and skill appearing unexpectedly, then disappearing from the historical record. The section emphasizes contrast between the known and the unknown, the expected and the impossible. Each artifact serves as a testament to human creativity, a reminder that the past holds many secrets still waiting to be rediscovered. The calm, reflective tone encourages viewers to imagine the ancient minds behind these creations, pondering questions that science can describe but not always fully resolve. By exploring these technological mysteries, we also confront the idea that human history may be more intricate and layered than textbooks often suggest. Achievements that seem impossible at first glance remind us that progress is rarely linear and that ingenuity can flourish in surprising contexts. The story of these artifacts gently leads viewers toward an understanding that history, like nature, has anomalies that resist simple explanation, bridging the transition to modern-day unsolved mysteries and unexplained phenomena. In this slow, meditative journey, the past is alive, whispering secrets to those willing to listen, leaving a lingering sense of awe and curiosity that softly propels us into the next segment. Even in our modern, technologically advanced world, mysteries continue to emerge, reminding us that human knowledge, no matter how extensive, is never complete. In this section, we explore contemporary phenomena that have puzzled scientists, researchers, and everyday observers alike. Events and discoveries that defy current understanding, quietly asserting that the universe retains secrets yet to be uncovered. From strange atmospheric occurrences to unexplained technological anomalies, these modern-day unexplainables challenge our sense of certainty and encourage a patient, contemplative curiosity. The narrative frames these mysteries not as threats, but as invitations to wonder, blending the familiar world with the subtly strange. Consider the strange natural events that appear to violate conventional patterns. Unusual lightning storms, anomalous cloud formations, and rare geological tremors manifest in ways that leave meteorologists and geologists searching for answers. Entire regions can experience phenomena without warning. Mysterious sounds echoing across valleys, glowing lights hovering in the sky, or waters that behave unpredictably. While instruments can measure temperature, pressure, and movement, the underlying causes sometimes remain elusive. These occurrences highlight a quiet tension between expectation and reality, encouraging the mind to linger on the delicate edge between what is known and what is still hidden. Technological anomalies, too, offer their own brand of intrigue. Machines fail inexplicably, electrical grids fluctuate without apparent cause, and instruments record signals that do not match known patterns. Occasionally, these anomalies emerge in research laboratories, where the most controlled environments fail to predict certain results. The narrative emphasizes the contrast between human precision and the stubborn unpredictability of the world, suggesting that even in an age of data and computation, mysteries persist. Observers are invited to experience both the fascination of discovery and the humility of realizing how much remains beyond comprehension. Human experience itself continues to produce enigmatic events. People report occurrences that cannot be fully explained, extraordinary memory phenomena, sudden intuitive insights, and shared experiences that challenge conventional psychology. Collective behaviors in communities sometimes appear synchronized in ways that defy sociological models. Even in the structured environments of cities and laboratories, subtle patterns emerge that resist classification, hinting at influences and interconnections that science recognizes but cannot entirely decode. This interplay between human perception and unexplained phenomena creates a sense of intimacy with the unknown, as viewers reflect on the mysteries that touch daily life in quiet, unnoticed ways. In some cases, discoveries are startling because they defy expectations in both scale and significance. Recently documented natural formations, rare species sightings, and phenomena that appear once and then vanish challenge both observation and memory. Modern technology, from satellite imagery to advanced imaging sensors, often captures these moments, yet explanation lags behind observation. The section emphasizes the contrast between our ability to record and our limited ability to understand, fostering a gentle tension that keeps curiosity alive without urgency. By exploring these modern-day unexplainables, we are reminded that mystery is not only a feature of the distant past or the far reaches of the cosmos. It exists here and now, in the familiar landscapes, skies, and cities we inhabit. Science provides methods, measurement, and reasoning, but the world retains layers of uncertainty that invite reflection rather than resolution. This awareness bridges the transition to signals and patterns that seem to come from realms beyond ordinary perception, setting the stage for the next section where the unknown stretches from Earth to the cosmos itself. In this quiet contemplation, viewers are encouraged to embrace a sense of awe, letting their minds wander through the subtle wonders of a world that continues to surprise and inspire. The universe speaks in whispers if we are willing to listen closely enough. In this section, we explore signals, both natural and artificial, that arrive from sources we cannot fully interpret. Some emerge from the depths of space, faint pulses that reach Earth only after traversing billions of kilometers. Others originate from beneath the Earth's surface, mysterious vibrations and magnetic anomalies that defy current geophysical understanding. Even human technology occasionally captures irregularities, such as untraceable transmissions or unexplained interference. These signals act as reminders that reality is layered, and that even with advanced tools, much remains elusive, floating just beyond the boundary of comprehension. Cosmic signals are among the most profound of these mysteries. Fast radio bursts, repeating patterns of electromagnetic energy detected by radio telescopes, flash across the universe without clear origin or purpose. Their timing, intensity, and repetition sometimes suggest natural causes, yet no single explanation satisfies all observed behavior. For decades, astronomers have cataloged these bursts, observing their regularity and unpredictability simultaneously. They stand as a testament to the fact that the cosmos communicates in ways we can detect, but not fully understand. The poetic rhythm of these pulses, traveling through the dark void for millions of years, evokes a deep sense of awe and quiet reflection, reminding us of how small and unknowing we are in the grand scale of existence. Signals from beneath our own planet are equally compelling. Seismic anomalies, mysterious hums, and magnetic fluctuations occasionally arise in locations where geology should produce predictable patterns. Instruments can measure these events, but the underlying causes often elude identification. In some cases, the Earth itself seems to be conversing in subtle tones, producing sounds too low or irregular for the human ear to perceive. This interplay between measurement and mystery creates a tension that feels both intimate and vast, as though the ground beneath our feet is alive with secrets waiting to be deciphered. Even within human technology, inexplicable signals occur. Radios, satellites, and scientific instruments sometimes detect transmissions that cannot be traced to any known source. These can appear as fleeting interference, coded patterns, or bursts of energy whose origin and purpose remain unknown. They remind us that the very tools we rely upon to understand the world are not infallible. They occasionally register phenomena that science can describe, but not yet explain. This contrast between human precision and the persistence of the unknown cultivates a subtle sense of humility and fascination, encouraging viewers to linger in contemplation rather than seek immediate answers. What makes these signals particularly intriguing is their dual nature. They're concrete and measurable, yet their meaning remains uncertain. Unlike phenomena that can be classified or explained with certainty, these patterns exist in a liminal space, hovering between comprehension and mystery. They evoke both curiosity and a quiet reverence, encouraging the mind to consider the possibility that some knowledge is beyond our reach, or at least beyond our current understanding. As viewers are drawn into this rhythm of signal and silence, the narrative gently prepares them for the next segment, which explores the outer edges of science and imagination, where the most challenging mysteries reside. Through all of these subtle transmissions, from the farthest reaches of space to the hidden layers of the Earth, viewers are invited to slow down, to listen with patient attention, and to appreciate the beauty of what remains unexplained. Signals from beyond understanding are a reminder that the universe, in all its complexity, continues to surprise and inspire. They serve as a bridge, linking modern discoveries with theoretical possibilities, and prepare the audience to explore phenomena that push the boundaries of scientific imagination. In this quiet, reflective space, the unknown becomes a source of wonder, not fear, inviting contemplation that lingers long after the narration has softened. At the frontier of human knowledge, there exists a space where imagination and science converge, a realm where the rules we take for granted begin to blur, and the unexplained becomes a canvas for possibility. In this section, we explore phenomena that stretch the boundaries of understanding, from subtle anomalies in physics to biological oddities that challenge established principles. These are discoveries that prompt reflection rather than immediate answers, inviting viewers to contemplate the universe not as a completed puzzle, but as a living, evolving mystery. The narrative embraces contrast, highlighting the interplay between what is known and what seems to defy expectation, creating a gentle tension that is both soothing and captivating. Quantum phenomena are a natural starting point for this exploration. Particles behave in ways that seem impossible, existing in multiple states simultaneously or influencing each other across vast distances, a reality that defies classical logic. While experiments consistently confirm these behaviors, the underlying mechanisms remain elusive, prompting both awe and careful speculation. This is a world where observation itself alters outcomes, where certainty is fleeting, and where science humbly acknowledges the limits of its own reach. In the quiet rhythm of quantum experiments, viewers sense that reality is far more fluid and mysterious than it appears on the surface. Biological anomalies provide a complementary dimension to this frontier. Certain species exhibit traits or behaviors that challenge conventional evolutionary explanations, from sudden regenerative capabilities to unexpected patterns of cognition or communication. Researchers document these phenomena meticulously, yet their causes remain partially or entirely unexplained. In these moments, life itself seems to offer hints of intelligence, adaptability, or design that cannot be fully deciphered. The narrative lingers on the delicate balance between empirical study and wonder, emphasizing the subtle poetry of discovery where facts coexist with questions that resist definitive answers. At the edge of scientific imagination, we also encounter phenomena that challenge time and space. Rare astronomical events, unexplained gravitational anomalies, and subtle irregularities in cosmic background radiation hint at structures and forces beyond current theoretical frameworks. These instances invite speculation without certainty, allowing the mind to wander gently among possibilities. The calm, reflective narration frames these discoveries as opportunities to expand our perception rather than to solve immediate problems, reinforcing a meditative approach to wonder and curiosity. Even human cognition itself belongs to this frontier. Exceptional memory, intuition that defies probability, and the occasional unexplainable creative insight suggest that our understanding of the brain and consciousness is still only partial. Neurology, psychology, and cognitive science provide frameworks, but anomalies continue to emerge, reminding us that even the most familiar aspect of existence, the mind, holds mysteries that resist simple explanation. By weaving these examples together, the narrative illustrates that the edge of scientific imagination is not a distant abstraction, but a tangible space where human observation, curiosity, and the unknown intersect. The beauty of this frontier is its invitation to wonder without pressure, to dwell in uncertainty without anxiety. Unlike areas of science where answers can be measured and confirmed, these phenomena ask only that we observe, reflect, and remain open. They are the quiet pulses of the universe that encourage contemplation, the soft threads of mystery weaving through the fabric of knowledge. This section gently prepares viewers for the reflective meditation of the next part, reminding them that science, while powerful, is always an ongoing journey, and that embracing the unknown can be as fulfilling as discovering the known. In this liminal space, curiosity becomes its own reward. We are invited to acknowledge that the universe contains layers beyond comprehension, and that the human mind, in all its ingenuity, is only beginning to glimpse these layers. By dwelling on these mysteries, viewers are softly guided to a state of contemplative calm, one that primes the imagination for the questions that persist across all domains of life, history, and the cosmos. Here, at the edge of scientific imagination, the unknown is neither threatening nor frustrating. It is quietly, endlessly fascinating, and beautifully infinite. Throughout history, humans have sought answers, attempting to understand the world through observation, reasoning, and experimentation. Yet, for every mystery unraveled, countless questions persist, quietly reminding us of the limits of knowledge. In this section, we reflect on these enduring enigmas, the puzzles that remain unsolved despite centuries of study and technological advancement. The narrative emphasizes that the persistence of unanswered questions is not a failure, but a testament to the complexity of reality. Through calm, measured narration, viewers are encouraged to dwell in curiosity, appreciating the beauty of the unknown rather than rushing toward closure. Many of these questions emerge from patterns that repeat across time and space, yet resist explanation. Ancient symbols that appear in disparate cultures, natural formations that defy geological logic, and recurring anomalies in both biology and physics hint at hidden structures or principles that science has yet to fully grasp. These phenomena are familiar and yet unfamiliar, ordinary and yet extraordinary, inviting the mind to linger on the space between recognition and mystery. In this quiet tension, viewers experience the gentle pull of curiosity, the sense that understanding is always within reach, yet never fully attainable. Some persistent questions relate to the very origins of life and consciousness. Despite decades of research, the emergence of complex life from simple molecules, the development of human intelligence, and the nature of consciousness itself remain only partially understood. Each new discovery deepens our appreciation for complexity, while simultaneously opening new realms of uncertainty. This section gently contrasts the knowledge we have gained with the vast unknown that remains, emphasizing the humility inherent in scientific pursuit. Rather than provoking anxiety, these unresolved questions become invitations to wonder, to sit quietly with the mystery of existence. History, too, offers its share of unanswered questions. Lost civilizations, unexplained technological achievements, and anomalous archaeological discoveries raise profound inquiries about human ingenuity and knowledge over time. We may uncover artifacts and monuments, yet the intentions, methods, and cultural significance behind them can remain elusive. By framing these historical mysteries alongside natural and cosmic enigmas, the narrative creates a sense of continuity. Uncertainty is not isolated to one domain, but is woven into the very fabric of reality. Viewers are encouraged to appreciate the subtle connections between the mysteries of the past, the present, and the universe itself. Even in our daily lives, questions persist that defy simple explanation. Unpredictable events, coincidences that feel meaningful, and subtle phenomena in our environment hint at patterns beyond comprehension. While science provides frameworks to interpret experience, many moments remain ineffable, resisting categorization or formulaic understanding. By highlighting these everyday mysteries, the section bridges cosmic, historical, and natural enigmas, reminding viewers that the unknown is not distant. It is intimately present in the world we inhabit. The persistent questions explored here serve as a bridge between contemplation and awe. They invite viewers to sit with uncertainty, to find comfort in the unknown, and to recognize that mystery itself can be deeply fulfilling. Unlike answers, which are finite, questions are infinite. They encourage reflection, imagination, and a gentle curiosity that can expand without end. In this sense, the unexplained becomes a source of quiet inspiration, a space where the mind can wander safely, lingering on possibility rather than conclusion. By the end of this section, viewers are gently prepared to transition into a reflective, poetic conclusion. The unresolved nature of these questions emphasizes the beauty of exploration, the value of observation, and the richness of mystery. Calm and immersive, this section leaves the audience in a state of quiet wonder, ready to embrace the final meditation on the unknown that concludes the narrative. Here, the focus is not on solutions, but on presence, reflection, and the soft, enduring allure of curiosity itself. As our journey through unexplained phenomena, strange discoveries, and persistent mysteries draws to a close, we arrive at a place of quiet reflection. Embracing the unknown is not a surrender to uncertainty, but a celebration of the infinite complexity that surrounds us. In this final section, viewers are invited to slow down, breathe, and consider the subtle rhythms of a world that continues to surprise, challenge, and inspire. The calm, meditative narration emphasizes that mystery is not merely a puzzle to be solved. It is an invitation to witness, to marvel, and to inhabit a space of wonder that exists beyond the reach of immediate understanding. Throughout history, humans have sought certainty, striving to map, measure, and explain every corner of reality. Yet, for every answer uncovered, countless more questions emerge, reminding us that knowledge is never complete. The discoveries explored in this documentary, from the enigmatic constructions of ancient civilizations to the bizarre phenomena of the natural world, from untraceable cosmic signals to anomalies at the edges of science, highlight the limits of human comprehension. Rather than diminishing our sense of awe, these gaps in understanding invite a deeper engagement, a gentle recognition that the universe is infinitely larger, stranger, and more beautiful than we can fully grasp. To embrace the unknown is to cultivate patience and humility. It is to allow curiosity to exist without the pressure of resolution, and to appreciate the subtle poetry embedded in both the natural and human-made world. Whether considering the hum of a distant star, the inexplicable behaviors of a plant, or the mysteries encoded in ancient artifacts, we are reminded that the act of noticing, observing, and reflecting is as significant as any answer. The narrative encourages viewers to slow their thoughts, to dwell in the sensation of mystery, and to find quiet satisfaction in questions that linger, softly expanding the mind. In the natural world, the unknown manifests as beauty, imperfection, and subtle surprise. Rivers carve unexpected paths, winds shape landscapes in unpredictable ways, and life evolves in manners that continually challenge scientific expectation. Similarly, human history and innovation carry their own mysteries. Achievements of the past that seem almost impossible, artifacts that hint at lost knowledge, and patterns of culture and invention that remain partly obscured. By observing these wonders without rushing to explain them, we learn to find comfort in uncertainty, understanding that the absence of answers does not diminish meaning. Instead, it enriches our perception, transforming the unknown into a source of reflection and quiet fascination. The cosmos extends this lesson to a grand scale. Signals from distant stars, anomalies in the fabric of space and time, and phenomena that defy current physics remind us that we are participants in a universe that operates on levels beyond everyday perception. The gentle cadence of these mysteries, measured yet inexplicable, invites contemplation rather than action. In this silence, viewers can sense the rhythm of existence itself, a vast and mysterious tapestry in which our understanding occupies only a small, yet precious, corner. Embracing the unknown also nurtures the imagination. By sitting with unanswered questions, we allow ourselves to envision possibilities that exceed conventional thinking. The mind becomes a space of exploration, where wonder is valued over certainty, and curiosity thrives without pressure or judgment. This mindset is not just philosophical, it is restorative. For nighttime or background listeners, it creates a calm, reflective state, encouraging mental wandering that is both soothing and stimulating in the gentlest sense. As the documentary concludes, we are left with a sense of quiet reverence for the mysteries that persist across time, space, and human experience. The unknown is not something to be feared or resolved hastily. It is a companion in our journey, a reminder of the vastness, complexity, and beauty of existence. By embracing it, we open ourselves to continuous learning, perpetual curiosity, and a sense of connection with the world's enduring enigmas. The final moments linger on this meditative reflection, allowing viewers to drift in a state of calm, awe, carrying the sense of wonder into their own thoughts and dreams. In the end, embracing the unknown is a gentle invitation to pause, to observe, and to appreciate the silent mysteries that shape our reality. It is an acknowledgement that life, history, and the cosmos are far richer than we can ever fully know, and that there is profound beauty in simply witnessing the questions themselves. The journey may end here, but the mind remains open, attuned to the subtle whispers of the universe, carrying curiosity, contemplation, and calm into the quiet spaces beyond the screen.